Check 1, 2. Anybody out there? Yep. Sign in. Let me know. Last time I did this, I had problems with audio. It was only on the right channel. Hopefully that's fixed. Ah, somebody's there. Kyle. Boston Dan. All right. So, audio good on your end? This is all working because I'm trying a whole bunch of new stuff. Excellent. Jarmel, thanks for your positivity. Always welcome. I'm curious, how's the video quality on this? Because I'm just using my new MacBook Pro camera and I'm not using anything, anything special. It's supposed to be a halfway decent camera. Got it, Mark. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to start in a little bit early. I'm doing this because my Lexus RX 500h F Sport Performance video, I can't put it up until Friday. And so I'm probably not going to do a video next week. And so I figured this is a little bit of a placeholder while you wait. I'm about done with the Lexus video. I'm waiting for pricing. They may not announce it. But Friday, that's dropping on Friday. Let's see here. No questions yet. So anyways, yeah, I've driven the new Lexus RX, the 5th generation, and there's a whole bunch of things that I can tell you about right now without breaking the embargo. It's going to eventually have 4 powertrains: gas, hybrid, performance hybrid, which is what I'm doing the story on, and then there will be a plug-in hybrid, though they had precious little information about that. I'm glad that my videos are therapeutic. Hopefully they're informative too. Let's see. Do I like the new RX? I'm not going to get too much into it because the Lexus folks were a little bit like, please don't talk too much about it. But I will say I like the new design language. Frankly, I was not a fan of the 4th generation, the one that's out. I thought it just looked a little arbitrary. Like the designers had a whole bunch of lines that they had stored in a warehouse and they need to get rid of. I just didn't see a lot of continuity in that design. And the new one looks a lot better in person. It just looks more planted and all. All right, let's get into this. What are my thoughts about the upcoming Lexus TX and Grand Highlander? You know what? Not really on my radar screen right now, so can't really talk about that. Have I driven the Rivian R1S? I haven't even driven the Rivian R1T. I mean, I've talked to Scaringe and I've talked to the folks, and Rivian seems to be the real deal. There's a number of Rivians in my neighborhood now. There's 3 of them in different colors, but they're all R1Ts. And so I would like to get my hands on one. So far, haven't. I have driven a Lucid Air very briefly. Not enough time to do any video on it. Have used cars reached the peak of high prices? You know what? There's a lot of indication that, yes, they have. I feel like prices are stabilizing and have actually gone down a little bit. A lot of people are saying they're not getting the trade-in value that they used to get, that Carvana and car gurus are not giving them nearly the amount of money that they would have 6 months ago. Let's see. Will there be an Imperial to match the high dollar Cadillac? You know what? It's hard to know what's going on with Chrysler. I'm just waiting for them to show us the Airstream, the production version of that. So it's really difficult to say. There's just not much going on as far as news, concrete news, when it comes to Chrysler. Let's see. I have not driven the new Outlander. Sorry. There's a lot of cars these days. Typically, there's 300 some vehicles out there. I'm one person. Hard to get to them all. I drive a lot. I usually drive about 100 a year. But I can only do videos on about 55 or 60. How many years will the CT5V Blackwing be produced? I'm going to guess 2-3 more years. Brilliant cars. I love them. Personally, I'm not going to be buying a new ICE vehicle probably ever again, unless I get a great deal on a Porsche 911. Anybody out there want to give me a great deal on a 911? No? All right. I have come to really enjoy the performance and the lack of maintenance on EVs. They're terrific. Let's see. When do I reckon the chip shortage will end? Seems like it is very slowly getting back to normal, but I honestly feel like it's going to be at least a year before things start returning to normal. Those are all the sources that I've talked to say that it's going to be a while. There's been a huge bottleneck, and with everything happening over in Europe politically, with Ukraine, it all bottlenecks. You've got China issues there, so lots going on in the world, folks. Let's see. I saw something. Chevy Equinox with the base price of $30,000, realistic or not? It's going to be a basic Equinox at $30,000, obviously, and will probably be either front or rear wheel drive. I'm not sure how they're configuring it that way, but I would love to see it. It will also probably have a reduced range battery, because those are what those asterisks are all about. That is the way the industry goes. But yeah, my son is actually interested in a Chevy Equinox because he feels like it's the right size and he wants an EV for his first car. Let's see. Please do a video on the XC90 Recharge T8 doing as soon as possible. I don't know that there's one in the press fleet, so sorry. Rory, do I think there's a market for the Cadillac Celestiq? Or will it be another Phaeton moment? Here's the deal. They're being handmade, so it's not like they're putting out, 150 of them a year and then they just languish on the lots. Every single Celestiq will be bespoke, all right? So if you want one, you order one, any color you want. The interior is bespoke. It's a different way of building a car for Cadillac and really for anybody. It's more along the lines of Rolls-Royce and Aston Martin. And I think Cadillac deserves that. For the longest time, I have been on Cadillac's case that General Motors has not let Cadillac be Cadillac, exceptionally good interiors, exceptionally good styling. The Lyriq is a good start. The Lyriq is very impressive. In person, I was very, very surprised, especially at its price point. Will I do the GR Corolla? I sure hope so. I did not get invited to the event, and I don't know why. Did I say something bad about Toyota? I don't think so. Actually, the automakers don't really work that way. But you know what? There's also so many events that I can go to because, it's 3, 4 days out of my life. And so try to get there. Would love to drive the GR Corolla because that's the kind of car I like to drive. I like performance cars. Let's see. Let's see. Your brother works for Chrysler, and that Chrysler just wants to make SUVs. I'm guessing SUVs because they're high profit. Yes, they are. And that's what car companies are in the business of doing. They're in the business of making money. They make money by building the cars that people want. And SUVs and crossovers are what people want these days. Significant. They're just not buying sedans. That's just the way it is. And if you're going to be putting $1 billion into developing a product, you're going to develop the product that people want. Buick Boy 92, yes, everything's well. Daniel Gross, thank you very much. I work hard. And again, a shout out to Martin Campbell, who is always there to help very early on Saturday mornings, okay? A lot of you guys will probably be unwilling to get up at 6:30 in the morning because we get up early to shoot running footage. That way there aren't other cars on the road and you will concentrate on the one that I'm shooting. EVs are fine until you take a long trip. I've taken long trips in EVs. It's really not that bad. It really is. And to the people who always say that EVs are bad for long distances, I'm afraid you're just going to have to try it. The reality is electric vehicles are terrific. A lot of them these days have a realistic range of around 250 miles on the highway. Longer than that, a lot of people are flying. Okay? And the infrastructure is there. It's not perfect. That is for sure. And Tesla definitely has the advantage there with the supercharger network. They keep saying that they're going to open it up to all EVs, and there are some rumblings that that's going to happen. But honestly, folks, if you're down on EVs because you don't think you can travel, on the main interstates, it's really not that much of an issue, and it's only going to get better. That's the way I see it. That's what I've experienced. Let's see. Do you think Jaguar has a future in the market? I sure hope so. I really like the way the I-Pace drives their EV. Really fun. And the F-Type was completely off my radar until Jaguar called up and said, hey, give this one a try. And I really enjoyed it. And the other thing is that there are a lot of cars that you can't get. You can't get Vets. Porsches are in short supply. Look at a Jaguar F-Type. I was really blown away by how good that vehicle was. I really enjoyed it. Hated giving it back. How's the weather up north? It's fine. I was not outside today because I was editing my Lexus piece, but I think my wife said it was fine. What is the pair of shoes behind me? That is those are the shoes that I qualified for Boston Marathon for the first time. That was a long time ago. So I'm thinking about having them bronzed, but yes, as the first time I qualified for Boston Marathon for the first time in those shoes. I've run it 9 times. I love the Boston Marathon. All right, but we're talking about cars. Let's see. Boy, so many. Jarmel, Tom, the Lyric looks so cheap. Have you seen one in person? I have, and it doesn't look cheap at all. It looks great, actually, in person. And everybody that was at the event was pretty blown away by that vehicle. Never, ever, ever go by photos or videos, all right? I'm a photographer, And I cannot tell you the number of times I've looked at a picture of a car and thought, wow, that looks great, only to find out in person, not so much, and vice versa. So, whatever. Find out, check it out when you actually see the vehicle. Thoughts on Hyundai's N concept cars? Not really up on those. I like the production N cars. Loads of fun. The Kona N, which didn't get a lot of views, which is too bad. That was a really, really fun vehicle. What are my thoughts about California now telling its residents not to charge their EVs, not having enough power? You know what? It's not great. I know that California has issues with their electrical grid. There are some places where that's fine, and others where it's not. And I think it's also one of those things. I've talked to a friend of mine who lives in California, and he's saying that it's not really that. They're just asking people to be very cautious about doing it, charging, in the middle of the night when there's not such a demand on the grid. I don't live in California, so I can't really say. But, let's be honest. California is saying that they want to eliminate ICE cars by 2035. So they do have some work to do on their grid if they want that. Or they're going to have to get people to commit to their own solar arrays on their homes, which is very, very feasible in California. Outside of Tesla, have you been hearing much about vegan interiors intent take rate from the industry? The industry likes synthetic leathers. For one thing, I've actually, if you've noticed the shoes there, I was actually a wear tester for Nike, and so I talked to a lot of their shoe designers, and they often told me that synthetic leathers are actually better than real leather in many cases. They're actually more durable. They wear better, they age better, they don't crack. So a lot of the auto industry, the designers think that synthetic leathers are great. I have heard from one or two of the designers that say vegan leather or vegan interior is not accurate, that even the synthetic leathers will use some byproducts from some animals. I don't know exactly how that works, but I always say synthetic interiors because I have heard that vegan is not entirely accurate. Let's see. Why do Americans hate wagons? I don't know. Wagons are great. And I think I've brought my son up correctly because the other day, and I told him that I was in a wagon, and he just said, oh, I miss our Volvo XC70, and that he really, really wants a wagon. So, I guess it's just poor upbringing, right? Right. How long does it take to produce my weekly spots? Generally, if I'm being somewhat productive, it can take as little as 8 or 9 hours to shoot. But usually it takes 14 to 15 hours. You got to remember that, to make it interesting to you folks, I typically shoot the car in 3 different locations for statics. I have to wait for the light to be right to shoot the interiors because on a bright sunny day, you get lots of shadows and you can't really see the interior. And then just shooting the running footage alone takes Martin and I, a good 4 or 5 hours because, well, first of all, I've got to buy him coffee. And then we go out to the location. Typically, it's, easily half hour, 45 minutes away from where we live because where we live, in the heart of Seattle, there's way too much traffic. We can't really shoot here. So we have to go to suburbs and way out in the country. And then, whether I'm doing drone work or, how extensive the GoPro stuff is, it can really take about 4 to 5 hours to shoot the running footage. So I would say all total 14 hours of shooting. There's always 2 or 3 hours of research at least. There's usually 4 or 5 hours of writing. I just kind of wing it a lot of times when I'm talking, making sure that it's accurate. And editing is because I color grade stuff. I used to be in broadcasting, so I really try to do things the right way. That's usually 8 to 10 hours. So, it doesn't surprise me that it could take 40 hours to produce a video. I know that some people do them on their iPhone. That's not me. I think, people want to look at the car. And so I focus on, swage lines and different aspects of the car to really give the person a good look at the vehicle. All right, enough of that. What's your take on EV fire with 2 little ones in car seats? The fact that fire in EVs seem to spread a lot faster. I have never been in an EV fire, and I'm not sure that they do spread faster. As an ex-news photographer, I have seen cars on fire. Gasoline catches on fire extremely fast. I've seen people burned alive. I think people hear EV fires and they get all, because they don't know about it. And frankly, I have never seen an EV fire, so I can't tell you firsthand. But I would be less concerned about an EV fire than I would a gasoline fire. Because gasoline, if the tank ruptures, it pools down around the car and it goes up like that. Again, I've seen it. It's not pretty. It's pretty horrific, actually. Okay. Let's move on to something a little bit more positive. I'm voting for more movie-like videos from me. I can only make so many, and it is a lot of work, but I do like it. I mean, it's great. I get to do my combination. I love photography. I like editing. I like writing, and I love cars. I've loved cars since I've been a little kid. So I get to put my love of all these things together. And you guys are great. Really, you guys are terrific. I will not be attending the Detroit Auto Show. I've got things going on, so can't. Wish I could. But in California, they asked not to charge between 5 and 9 p.m. this Labor Day due to the grid load. That makes sense to me. And I prefer my AC work than I have a car to charge. You know what? Look, we're a community, and we have to work together. And so, if the power folks are saying please don't charge, just charge later. I don't live there. In Seattle, we have no issues with that at all. We have a great electrical grid. Also, we have cheap electricity. So here, EVs are great. I try to make sure that I'm up on everything all around the country because I realize we're a bit of an anomaly. But, you need to make an informed decision when you're buying your vehicles. Did you start out with New York Times, Jarmel? No, I did not. I worked in Minneapolis at WCCO for a couple years. Then I moved to Seattle and worked for many, many years at King 5 TV, the NBC affiliate. And when I was at King 5, the New York Times saw my video, called me up and said, "We would like you to work for us." Oh, okay. I'll work for the New York Times. Very difficult to work for the New York Times because if you state something, you have to be able to back it up with the source. So it took a lot of time writing for the New York Times, but loved every minute of it. I was waiting on the stream and found out you were on another. Oh, Sorry, I don't know what's going on. Do I think hydrogen is a long time investable future? Personally, I think hydrogen is better for heavy trucks and such. The what I know about it and the smart people that I've talked to, I really don't see it becoming a big deal for like personal transportation, our cars and such like that. Um, it's just hard to get everything, the network. I mean, we're going to have to build that. Toyota seems to be upset that there's no hydrogen infrastructure being built. Well, I've always said they have more money than God, and I feel like they could help build the infrastructure. They literally have billions of dollars sitting in the bank. So if they feel that strongly about hydrogen, maybe they should help out on that and get some government funds because, for decades and decades, the government has helped the petroleum industry, giving them billions, if not trillions of dollars of tax credits and breaks. So would like to see that on EVs and hydrogen. What are your thoughts on the future of the Mazda MX-5? I believe I've heard that Mazda feels that it's good. They've talked about electrifying it, and when they say electrify, I'm not sure if they mean plug-in hybrid, regular hybrid, or fully EV. The automakers love to hide behind the word electrified. In fact, I just got out of the electrified G80 by Genesis. And a lot of people might think that's a hybrid, but no, it's a pure EV. Toyota loves to use the word electrified, but they don't seem to be all that hot on pure EVs. Will Evil Twin ever do a live stream? I don't think he understands how to work a computer. Not the brightest bulb in the marquee. Let's see. Any chance you'll make a video on the new Kia Niro? Yes. I am already scheduled to go to the event, and I believe that is the first week in October. So yes, definitely. I tend to do any EV that I can get to. Thoughts on the Dodge electric Chargers and Challengers? Will people buy them or miss the Hemi? Some people will miss the Hemi. I understand that. Love the sound. I'm a kid that used to put baseball cards, in the spokes of my bike. The sound is great. Obviously, they feel that sound is important too because they have a great synthetic tone that comes out of it. I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't like synthetic stuff. I like honesty, and we'll see. Love the way that the Dodge electric Chargers and Challengers look. They're terrific. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but the grille is actually a aerodynamic feature, sort of like the Jaguar I-Pace. If you look at the pictures of it, it's a really neat design. I'm looking forward to it. Stellantis, which is, the parent company of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and all. They're a little bit late to the electrification party. They do have Jeep 4xEs and all that. And I hear they're very good. For some strange reason, I just haven't been able to get a copy of one of those to test, but I hope to soon. It has to be political, though. I really don't like to deal with political stuff. Top chat, $5. Relatable username. Thank you very much. Thanks for the $5. Going for gas money. It does cost a certain amount of money to produce these things. I don't like to complain, but it does, I just had a wireless mic go south. You'll find out all about that on Friday's video with the RX. But yeah, I was down in California and my $850 microphone gave up the ghost. And so I had to rely on my cheap DJI mics. Really glad that I had a spare set. Video production, not cheap. How do you satisfy the primal need from combustion and feed it to the consumer through electronics? You know what? Maybe you don't. At a certain point, we have to choose between the environment and pretty sounds from our exhaust pipe. I mean, I get it. I love the sound of a gas engine just as much as anybody else. But we're adults here, and maybe we need to grow up, huh? Elliot, yes, electrified. I mean, I get it because they are electrified. But you know what? You can just say hybrid, and not self-charging electric or self-charging EV. That's just called regeneration or recuperation. Lots of marketing in this industry. There really is. I want a good sound system in my car. Don't need fake car noise, Allison. Yes. I personally am really into audio systems. If you can tell around me, let's see here. I'll turn over there. You can see my keyboard. I am in a recording studio, and I actually used to do sound work. I used to score documentaries for the TV station that I work for. And my son is in music school, so I take my music very seriously. I actually worked in a recording studio for a number of years. And so for me, good sound is very, very important. The lexicon system that's in the electrified G80 that I've just driven, very, very accurate. And personally, my favorite sound system is in the Acura MDX, the ELS 3D studio system. It's perfect. The 3D system is not gimmicky. You use the right files in that sound system, and it's astonishing. Really, really good sound system. And the great thing about electric vehicles is that it allows you to hear that sound system that much better. Let's see. Is that a Minnesota license plate? I see. Yes, it is. That is the license plate that was on my car when I moved to Washington State. I'm originally from Minnesota. Grew up in Duluth. Spent a couple years in Minneapolis during the reign of Prince. Saw Prince a number of times, interviewed him a bunch of times. More Stay in the Time, Apollonia. It was a great time to be in Minneapolis. Moved to Washington State, met a girl. She wasn't going to move back to Minnesota, so here I am. Excited to see you taping your show at the Fred Meyer in Ballard. Any Alfa Romeo reviews coming? Yes, I am oftentimes at the Electrify America station in Ballard. I was just there yesterday, and all the terminals were working. Finally. Thank you, Electrify America. No Alfa Romeo reviews coming. There's really nothing new from them until their new small compact comes. Is it tonal or tonale? I have not found out yet. Voice command, will it get better or have we peeled? I'm going to say maybe you meant peaked. You know what? The voice command systems in BMWs, Mercedes, in the Lexus that I drove, the RX, is excellent. It really is. And voice command is great because the automakers feel like putting buttons in cars is expensive. It is. That's why Tesla has one big touchscreen. It actually saves them money. And it's a lot easier to just say, hey, Lexus, my butt is cold, and it will turn up the heat on the heated seats. It's great. You don't even have to look for a button. You don't have to look at anything. You just speak. And it's about 95% accurate. So, David Carroll, since we're still in limited battery production, what are your thoughts about focusing on more plugins? You know what? I own 2 plugins, and I think they're great technologies. But here's the deal. The new battery formulations will have less of the rare earth metals in them. I know the automakers and the battery companies are desperately trying to eliminate those, and they've had some success. GM's Ultium, I know that they've reduced the amount of cobalt significantly, and they continue to drop it. One of the cool things about the Ultium system is that it has the wireless battery management system. And so if one of the battery packs goes bad, it can easily be replaced and plugged in with a new unit. And that can be a completely different formulation. The system adjusts for it. It's smart. It's really pretty cool. Once you understand more about the Ultium system and what GM is doing, you will have some respect for that. I know that I do. Plug-in hybrids, you have a gas engine to maintain. For me, it's an oil change every 2 years, 2.5 years. I have 30% oil left on my ELR. Personally, I'm ready to go pure EV. My wife likes her Chevy Volt. She has a second generation. We typically buy 1 tank of gas a year each of us do. And right now, my Cadillac is saying you have to burn the fuel off because it's been in there a long time. Typically these days now, I only buy a half a tank of gas because I know that I don't use it because my car goes 35 miles on electric only. That's typically how far I drive it in a day. The thing is with plug-in hybrids, it's too easy for people to not plug them in. And then, you have the emissions happening there. Dan Neal did a really good piece. If you have a subscription to the Wall Street Journal, look it up. There's something about plug-in hybrids that when they first kick on, they tend to be a little bit dirtier than most other cars. So there's a lot of people who are saying that plug-in hybrids really aren't the answer. But if used as intended, I think they're terrific. My day-to-day driving is all on electric. In a little while, my wife and I are going to take a road trip to Montana. I don't have to worry about charging. I just switch fuel sources. So I feel that plug-in hybrids are terrific. Do you think Tesla will ever make a car available for you to review? If they do, great. If they don't, great. I drive Teslas. I'm very aware of what they can do. I have lots of friends that have them. But they make life very difficult for me. So why would I impose upon my friends or neighbors and keep a car for 3 or 4 days? It's just not worth it for me. A lot of people are disappointed by that. What can I say? I mean, my life is got enough going on it as it is. I really don't need an automaker, basically saying, well, you don't want me to review the car, then I won't. It's just as simple as that. Other people do reviews of Teslas. I'm not the only automotive reviewer out there. There are plenty of great automotive people. So let's see. Okay, somebody just sent me some money for the super thanks. And I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. But thank you very much. Benjalim Dashdori? You should take your money back because what a horrible pronunciation I've done of your name. But thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. Hydrogen. Let's see. Will, thank you very much. Yeah. Let's see. I'm going back up here. Let's see here. Why would the Germans louse up the throttle response in the new Taos? I don't know. I didn't find it was that horrible. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody just gave me $100. David, thank you very much. That's crazy. I hope you're very wealthy. Yeah, wow. You know what? I will buy Martin not only coffee next Saturday, but an Egg McMuffin. Well, they don't have those at Starbucks, but David, thank you very much. I hope you're getting a lot of entertainment out of the videos. That's terrific. Thanks again. Um, uh, yeah, well, I feel like good production. You're not. It makes it so the video isn't distracting. You can concentrate on what I'm trying to describe about the car. So I can't always get it right, but I'm always trying to get it right. Uh, let's see. The Crosstrek is a plug-in, but it's not very good. Yeah, it doesn't have much of a range. So yeah, but at least they're building a plug-in. Walter, Tesla is notoriously difficult to get a press car for. No, they don't have press cars at all. They don't have a press department. Part of the reason why I don't do Tesla is I can't get accurate information from them. They don't even have a press site where they have specs and such. And people say, well, the specs are on the internet. Well, there's different specs on the internet. So again, I like what Tesla has done for the electric car. Tesla made EVs cool. And I love the way the Model 3 looks. It's a beautiful design. I love the performance. It's just difficult for me to review them. So let's see here. What time is it? Wow, we're coming up. When will EV sports cars finally arrive? I don't know. I know that there's a very, very strong rumor that Porsche is working on an electric 917. So a Boxster or a Cayman, pure electric, are in the future. Seems to me they had an electric race car, and my sources at Porsche kind of did the nudge, nudge, wink, wink thing, saying, you might take a hint or two off of that. But that was a hardcore race car. But they do things for a reason. They never do things just for fun. Javier, what are my thoughts on the Ford Maverick, and would I recommend buying one? I love the Maverick. Some people criticize the Maverick for being a very basic and inexpensive looking vehicle. Guess what? It is a basic truck. It is an inexpensive truck. I am a little bit tired of Ford saying that you can get one for under $20,000. They've raised the price $1,000, but even then, the destination was $1,500, so it was never under $20,000. Even if you could get a dealership that was selling it to you at MSRP. But I believe that the hybrid version, which unfortunately is only front-wheel drive, is a terrific vehicle, and I feel like the plasticky interior is actually kind of endearing on the Maverick. I wouldn't like it on any other vehicle, but for some reason, to me, it works really well on the Maverick. I do love the Maverick. I know people. There's a guy in my neighborhood who has a hybrid, and he's getting like 48 miles per gallon. I go by his house every once in a while, and he's like, "Hey, look at my display!" And he's very, very proud of it. Let's see. I can't believe Martin just works for coffee. Well, I'm very entertaining too, right? So we have a great time. Martin's the greatest guy in the world. I am very proud that that he gets up early in the morning and does this. We talk about our kids, and we talk about how great our lives are. He's an IT director, and Martin's a very smart guy. He really knows his way around computers, and IT stuff. So very cool guy. Let's see here. Yeah, I can't believe he just does this for coffee either. I'm going to take him out for dinner, him and his wife. We're going to go out for sushi. How can you find a dealership that does not charge over MSE for a plug-in hybrid or EVs? Shop around. It's as simple as that. I know people who have bought cars, even though I have actually discouraged people from buying cars the last year and a half. I've got a buddy of mine, Ed Wood, if you're out there. He ended up buying a Chevy Silverado, pretty nice one. He got it for under MSRP. He shopped around. He didn't just go to his local Chevy dealership. He went quite a ways. But for him, it was worth it. He saved $10,000 by going, I believe he actually went out of state. Here's the deal. We all love it when the automakers and the dealerships are giving us $10,000, $15,000 on the hood with rebates and deals and all that kind of stuff. It is a free market society or economy. I don't like it, and I know you don't either, but that's the way it goes. In 2 years, maybe rebates will be back. Maybe people will be getting great deals on vehicles. But right now, it is in your best interest to get out there and shop and do the research. My dad bought a Kia EV6. He got it for under MSRP. Deals are out there. You just don't roll over and play dead. And also there's a lot of dealerships that say, oh, it's $5,000 over MSRP. And then people just go, oh, okay. You have to dicker. It's just like any other time. And you may not be able to get the car you want. There's a shortage. So, that's my best example or my best advice. How long before the supply chain catches up with demand? I think it's at least a year away. I do. Darcy, I'm sorry, I don't know what the question you're answering is. As I came in late, I'm sorry, don't know what you're asking. Captain DNA Donut. Great. I hope you're enjoying your Mach-E. I love the Mach-E. I actually considered buying one, but then I didn't have any money, and then the shortage happened. So I don't know. That's the problem with what I do is that there are a lot of great cars, and then I go, I would really like that one. And then another one comes along that's really great. The great thing about my job is that I don't really need to buy a car, but I have a bunch of them. So, oh well. Ram 1500 you can get under MSRP as well. I didn't know that. A lot of it is regional, folks. You just have to look around. You have to do your homework. Yes. Ask the dealer if they would sell it to you for MSRP before you ordered it. Smart. If you're going to get a car, if you're going to order a car, get in writing that you will get the price that you're asking for. Whether it's under MSRP, at MSRP, or you're willing to pay a little bit over. Get it in writing. It's really, really important. Don't roll over and play dead. Their job is to make money, right? They have to pay their employees. They have to pay the electrical bills. They have to pay the rent. Paying over MSRP is bad for everyone? Well, I don't know. Could be good for the dealerships. Purchased a Model Y long range last month for... Great. Glad you're enjoying it. Love EVs. I said my name correctly. Well, every once in a while. Tesla needs to come back to earth with their pricing. Cheapest Tesla starts at 60K. I love the argument from the Teslarati that, oh, the dealerships are marking the prices up $5,000 when Tesla just basically raised prices, what, $10,000? And nobody seems to be upset about that. I mean, look, you just have to look at it with common sense. And maybe it's because I was raised in the Midwest. I've got just too much common sense going on, but you just got to look at things realistically. What cars do I currently own? Starting the oldest and going to the newest, I have a 1990 Mazda Miata NA original year that I bought new. And it's been a great car. For the family, it just keeps going from different kid to different kid. We have a 2012 Kia Soul, which has been great. Gas and oil. That's all we've put in it. It's got like 90,000 miles on it. And then I have a 2014 Cadillac ELR plug-in hybrid, and my wife has a second generation Chevy Volt. Both of those cars have been flawless. If you take care of your cars, that's what's really important. David James, is it true that the days when car lots were full of cars are over? Kind of. I think you're going to be seeing less of that. I think it's best for everybody, including the consumer, to buy the car that they want. Order the color and the options and the accessories that you want. I have bought a few new cars in my life, and that's what we did. We ordered it exactly the way I wanted it. It didn't cost any more. And I got exactly what I wanted. I had to wait 6 weeks for it. But come on, the average car these days, $47,000. Why not get exactly what you want? And yes, there will be some cars on the lot for those people who just need a car or just need instant gratification. But yeah, I see the days where people order their cars more to their liking. I think that has been something that people forgot about, and they've been doing that more with the supply chain issues. Let's see. Let's see. What do I think about the new California push to convert all new car purchases from gas to electric? I like it. I breathe air. And I depend on the environment. I'm a car guy, yes. And, to people who say electric cars are great for the environment, I say bicycles and mass transit are actually better. But car people don't want to hear that. I'm just being realistic. Yes. All sorts of research shows that EVs are considerably better for the environment than gas-run cars, even when that electricity comes from coal. This is taking in effect the entire supply chain and the life of the car from cradle to grave. We need to do something. It's just as simple as that. Is it smart to use a car broker? If you are T455, it is if you're terrible at negotiating. You might try Costco's auto service. I used that years and years ago, and it worked. It was great. There was no haggling. I got a great deal on the vehicle, and we had just had a kid, and I was frazzled, and I needed to get it done fast. And I think I got I want to say $4,000 off the MSRP of the vehicle. So it was not a bad deal. Had that car for a year, and then it got hit by a semi, and so it got totaled. Volvos, that safety stuff, it really does work. Let's see. Thoughts on the new RX? Lexus, the new RX. Anthony B., you're going to have to wait till Friday when my video drops. All the information on driving dynamics are embargoed. So I really can't say anything, or Lexus will send agents to my house, and I don't know, they're not going to do bad things to me, but I'll get a talking to. So anyways, yes, that is why I'm doing the live chat today. I'm not going to be doing a video next Tuesday, most likely. But yes, I'm profiling because I had so many technical problems. I am only profiling the 500h F Sport Performance. So have your wife take a look at that, okay? All right. Do I know if the F20, Mike Chisholm, do I know if the 2023 F-150 Lightning has any substantiative improvements? I don't. I haven't looked at it off the top of my head. I think that's the Mach-E. I think the Mach-E got a little bit more range. I know that the prices have gone up on the 2023 F-150 Lightning. But I don't know that it's been in production long enough for them to do anything significant. So my best guess is no. Let's see. Drive to Run. Greetings from Santa Clara. First of all, thank you very much for the 20. Much appreciated. I'll tell you, after driving the Bronco Raptor, man, that thing is thirsty. So yeah. Any reason why I haven't set up a Patreon page yet? You know what? It's awkward. One, I don't like asking for money. I make some money off of YouTube. It's not great. This is really more of a labor of love. I like doing it. And, I'm not doing too bad. I'm not going to complain. But I will leave it up to you folks here on YouTube to do super thanks and super chat. Slide me $5, $10, $20, $100. I appreciate that, but I'm glad you feel I'm worth it. And Santa Clara, my son went to Santa Clara, got a business degree from there. And I love the Santa Clara area. I love the Bay Area. My wife has relatives down there, and I do love going down there. I actually had a job offer before I came to Seattle to work at K-Pix, and I turned it down because I thought that housing was too expensive, and I didn't know anything about the Bay Area. And I'm glad I went to Seattle because I met my lovely, lovely wife. But, man, I do like the Bay Area. Any underrated entry-level cars that have many standard, like the Scion, IM? You know what? I think a lot of people, the Honda Civic is a really good bargain. If you can get one, you have to preface everything with the chip shortage and the supply chain issue. The Nissan Sentra is actually a really good car with a very nice interior. And, that's what you're looking at, right? And I would say the Nissan Kicks, but it is dreadfully slow. But I'm trying to think of anything else. I feel everybody, for some reason, gives the Bolt EV, a hard time. That is the best entry vehicle that you can buy today, especially if you're looking for an EV. Once there's some confusion with the 2023s, there is a price drop on those through rebates. A lot of the dealerships aren't letting consumers know that. But once the 2023s start trickling into the dealerships, those are an excellent buy. The Bolt is a great vehicle. Looks like they've got the battery situation worked out. Everybody that I know that has a Bolt, and there are a bunch of people in my neighborhood, they love their cars and have never had any issues with them. So trying to think, the automakers are going away from entry-level vehicles. Entry-level vehicles these days are really going to be used cars going forward. the automakers don't make much money on entry-level cars. It's just that simple. Wow. Okay. Wow. So many people. Ed Starr, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very generous of you. The BMW 7 Series has an amazing interior light show. Yes, it is. And good thing that it can be dimmed or actually, turned off completely. Same with the Mercedes EQS. Really, truly, it is like the Starship Enterprise. And as the automakers, the playing field starts becoming more level as electrification comes to be, interior lighting, that kind of stuff, that is going to be one of the differentiators in the business, especially the luxury market. Frankly, it's an easy tiebreaker. If I was deciding between a vehicle and I just couldn't really decide, interior lighting would be great. I mean, here in Seattle, we're up north, and so we have a lot of darkness during the winter months. And so, nice interior lighting is great. But yeah, I agree with you. It can be distracting. You just can't let it. Got to pay attention. Cars can be very dangerous. I'm going to start wrapping this up, but I'm going to try to very quickly get through this. I have a gym session scheduled, so need to work out. It's important. Walter, you don't feel like the power grids are not prepared. In some places they're not. In others there are. You have to look at your local municipality and figure that out. I have not driven a Rivian yet, unfortunately. Tuan, yes, I still have the ELR. I can't cancel Tuesday. It's coming on Friday. Don't worry about it. I have not driven a Rivian. Electric truck range is a real issue as soon as you start towing something with it. Yes, I agree. They're really, not only do they literally take half the range off when you're towing, there are a lot of spots that aren't pull through. And so it's really awkward to charge them, and you need to charge them more often. I would like to see more plug-in hybrids when it comes to pickup trucks, frankly. I think that would work really, really well with a pickup truck. Opinions on Electrify America and if they will make it. Yes, they will. Apparently, their new terminals are much, much more reliable. I have been a critic of Electrify America. I've even interviewed the CEO. It's really a shame because people depend on those. And there are other charge stations out there. There's ChargePoint. There's EVgo. Get an app. ChargeWay is a really good app. Take a look at that. They can point you to other charge stations. Matt Johnson, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bellingham, my niece is going to be playing golf for them apparently next year. She's got a scholarship at Western, so she's a really good golfer. Everybody in my family is a great golfer except for me. Owen, thanks for watching since 2015. Hopefully I'm entertaining and informative. Chevy discontinued the Volt, didn't they? Yes, they did. They do believe that pure electrification is the way to go. And you know what? To a certain degree, I also believe that. It is. The one thing I don't like about our plug-in hybrids, there is a gas engine to maintain. Just pure and simple. I've driven enough pure EVs to know that eventually that's what I want to get. I will save up my dollars and maybe start buy Tom a Porsche Taycan fund. EVgo has added a lot in the Seattle area. Yes, they have, and they will be adding a lot more. Same with Shell Recharge. You'll start to see them. I believe like Magnuson Park has them down by Costco on 4th Avenue South, where I do the TP trunk test. Fun fact, where I do the TP trunk test is actually the first Costco ever. It is warehouse number 1. It's not the actual warehouse because that one was so small compared to Costco. They tore it down and they built one across the parking lot. But yeah, there you go. Off topic. I hate when Chevy makes a great product, usually has a short lifespan. That would be General Motors. They make great products and then they squirrel. They do something else. Contrary to popular belief, General Motors does really good when it comes to innovation. They just don't stick with it oftentimes, and they're pretty bad at marketing. They make some really great products. They really, truly do. They get a bad rap. I wish they marketed better. We'll see with the Lyriq. The Lyriq is a very good vehicle, people. It really is. If I were buying an EV today and I could get one, I think that's what I'd buy. A really good value for what you get. So, Rolando, there you go. I just answered your question. Always like my New York Times reviews. Thank you. They don't do reviews anymore, so I do write the occasional article. Start a GoFundMe to get a Taycan. Maybe someday, but right now there's a lot of things in the world that people could spend their money on. Me being selfish. I don't know that I really need a Taycan. Of course, we all want a Taycan, but all right. Bob Harrison, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thoughts on the Tesla Model 3 and why losing the gear selector and having the buttons on the steering wheel? It's a cost-saving issue. Everything that automakers do, you take $1 out of a car and you're building 300,000 of them, you're saving $300,000. That's just the way it is. I've always believed, as much as I like Teslas, that just having the big screen and eliminating a lot of buttons and stuff like that, that's not tech. That's cost savings. It's much less expensive for them to put that stuff on a screen and then, just update the user interface. Smart. Any word on availability of EV9 and price? No. They have shown off more of the production vehicle, and it looks very similar to the concept car. So looking forward to seeing it. And I will be driving the Neo soon. Yes, Kenton, I know about that program. Seattle City Light is offering curbside EV charging in people's neighborhoods. I applied for that, and it's not going to work in my neighborhood. But it's a great idea. They need to start some of these projects. They need to start getting creative because there's a lot of people who live in apartment buildings and condominiums. They have no place to charge their cars. So the utility companies need to get creative. And at the end of the day, they're selling more electricity. They're making more money, Hope Corolla Cross hybrid reviews coming soon. Don't know. Haven't seen one in the press fleet. Taycans for everyone. Wow, wouldn't that be a world? Those are terrific vehicles. They really are. Okay, guys. I've gone past my hour, but thank you for hanging out with me, and I hope I didn't ruin your dinner. But you on the East Coast, it's long past that. So anyways, remember on Friday, there is the Lexus RX 500H review. And that will be when you wake up in the morning, it should be ready to roll. It's about 20 minutes long. I got everything I could. There are some specs and some details that Lexus didn't give us yet, and I'm waiting to post it until Thursday night to make sure that it's as fresh and as relevant as possible. Uh, Chris, well, I'm sorry I ruined your dessert, but you didn't have to watch, did you? All right. uh, okay. And DB, no, not going to the Detroit show. Kyle, oh, from Niagara Falls, Ontario. That's where they debuted the Taycan. I will remember that very, very vividly. That was the first time I had ever seen Niagara Falls, and they had the Taycan in the foreground. It was really amazing. So, everybody in Ontario at Niagara Falls should get a Taycan just because of that. Thank you very much for the $10. Much appreciated, really. And hope you're enjoying the reviews. All right, guys. Time for me to go. I'm going to grab a little dinner and then head off to the gym. So keep being great. As I've said before, many of my peers that write about cars are always astonished by how positive the comments are on my YouTube channel and on Facebook. I'm starting to post reviews there too. And it's true. I don't edit any of them. You guys are great. You ask good questions. You ask smart questions. So thanks for being awesome. All right. I'm out of here, guys. Or as I like to say, that's driven. I'm Tom Voelk. See ya.